a big part of the work that I do coaching clients with long COVID is that if your nervous system is not able to be in rest and digest even for a tiny bit of the day, the medical treatments themselves are not going to work, because your body needs to be in that state for the healing to be able to happen.
Right. So somebody watching this saying, you know, I think maybe I do have long haul COVID.
Yeah.
What is the process like when they contact you? Do you do an assessment? What is the initial process like?
So I offer a free discovery call, and you can schedule one of those just by going to my website. And we will talk a little bit about, first and foremost, what is the dream life that you want to get forward to in the future? Because most people with long COVID have been sick for so long and their life has gotten so small.
And they're sad and frustrated and emotionally.
And very, very, very tough. And so they have forgotten even the possibility that they can get better, even the hope that they can have a life again. So that's where we start. And then I will check in. What are the symptoms that you're experiencing? What are the treatments that you've tried? What's working? What's not working? And then we'll talk a little bit about the autonomic nervous system, and does that resonate for them? And does that make sense? And then if it feels like a good fit, then we talk about working together through coaching. There's sort of 3 elements within that, Jim. So the first is that people with long COVID are so overwhelmed because there aren't clear treatment pathways, because the docs don't fully understand, and it's the luck of the draw when you speak to your PCP whether they even know what long COVID is or not.
And when you hear long haul anything or chronic anything, it's scary. It's saddening, because you mean long haul, how long is that a long haul?
Exactly. And that's a question I get a lot. Either do you think I can recover? Because the person really doesn't. Or even they'll just say to me, I'd lost all hope, and thank you for representing the possibility that I can recover.
Or will I even get worse?
Yeah, absolutely. And initially, when the body is still in that sympathetic activation, it's so easy to get caught up in, I'm never going to get better, this is going to be awful.
This is it for me.
And noticing little, oh my gosh, I am getting worse. And it is very, very, very scary. And because I have been there, and I would really say it is the worst thing a human can go through.
Did you say, why me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was so furious for such a long time. And, you know, because, again, a phrase that's very commonly shared within the long COVID community, that I lost my life, but I'm still alive. And that's no way to live. And in the midst of the pandemic, when most people, having been through lockdowns and everybody did some navel gazing and some reconsidering of their life and their priorities. And there was a big theme that came out of it. Life's too short, we should live for today. Well, when today is hell, you don't want to live for that. And when there's no hope of a future being any different, it's really, really hard. And so having somebody who can represent hope and can help people put together their own treatment path, their own recovery path, so that they can have some efficacy in their own recovery journey.
What are some other treatments? Is there medication involved? Are there other things?
Yeah.
Or meditation, EFT tapping? I mean, is there a lot of different things you try?
There are lots of different things that people can try. I, obviously, as a psychologist, am not a licensed prescriber. But what I can do is help people look at the existing research evidence that we have around possible medications that they might want to ask for from their physicians. And if they don't have a physician who is amenable to that type of work, having worked with a lot of people throughout the US and also internationally, I'm also pretty good at helping people find docs who do know what they're doing and can help them get to the right meds that might be helpful to them. So that's a big part of the work that we do together. And then absolutely looking at all the possible things that a person can be doing to support their nervous system. And for some people, meditation is really helpful. For some people, yoga is really helpful. deep breathing, depending on how your lungs are doing post-COVID. And there can be a bit of breathing rehab that can be done there to help out. And then there's lots of, so those are sort of what we think about as big things. Most people come to work with me at a point when they are either thinking about taking medical leave from work or already have taken medical leave for a while. And so often some of the coaching work we do together is thinking about, is that a career you want to go back into? Or are there other things that maybe are emerging that now seem more supportive of your lifestyle and your nervous system?
What's great about what you're sharing, and you're being very revealing, very open with us like you were on the radio show, is the relatability that you have to the patients or the clients that you're dealing with, because they're going to be opening up and sharing things about their life with you that they might not even share with their closest loved ones and friends. Their fears, everything else that they're dealing with. So when they realize that they're talking to somebody who's an expert but also has been living through what they're going through, that they are sort of in a fog about and confused about, it's very reassuring for the patient or for the client that you have, which I think is fantastic. List out some of the benefits, again, of having a long-haul coach such as yourself.
So in addition to thinking about treatment options and getting support around that, definitely having somebody who understands and is there. And in terms of the way that my coaching kind of works logistically, we try to keep Zoom meetings to a minimum because obviously they're quite draining and overwhelming for folks with long COVID. And yet I will use one of those walkie-talkie apps to keep in touch with my clients constantly throughout the week. And so they can message me if there's something they're worried about, if there's something they're thinking about, if there's something they tried that went well. And I think that's something about the difference between coaching and psychology that I really like. Coaching, you are there for somebody sort of minute to minute, literally coaching them through. Psychology is very much more boundaried, and you've got your 45-minute session, and then no personal information is shared. As a psychologist, my patients never knew anything about me at all, whereas folks in the long COVID community know my whole story, my whole life.
And you're like
or
a
at
friend.
Least, and so it is much more, the power dynamic is not there, and it is much more, somebody who's further along in the recovery journey helping someone who's further back.